In this video, we are counting down 7 ice cream brands sold at Tesco you should never buy, and revealing 3 that are actually worth your money. In 2015, the UK's Food Information Regulations removed the requirement for products to contain at least 5% dairy fat and 2.5% milk protein to be labelled ice cream. Consumer Watchdog, which investigated 24 vanilla ice creams and found only 50% contained all 3 traditional ingredients: fresh milk, cream, and real vanilla. 5 out of 24 products, roughly 1 in 5, contained none of those 3 ingredients at all. The US still requires a minimum of 10% milk fat for a product to be legally sold as ice cream. The UK now has no minimum requirement whatsoever. Overrun up to 100% is legal in the UK, so half the tub can legally be frozen air. If the label says soft scoop or frozen dessert, it is not legally required to meet any dairy standard. Stay until the end. The 3 brands worth buying might surprise you. In 10th place, Cadbury Dairy Milk ice cream bars trade heavily on nostalgia, but the reality behind the wrapper is far from the classic chocolate bar most remember. The product is made under license from Mondelez International, not by the original Cadbury factory, and the difference shows up in the ingredients. Water and sugar lead the list, with milk protein concentrate standing in for fresh milk or cream. The chocolate coating relies on industrial emulsifiers, E471 and E476, instead of traditional cocoa butter, and dairy fat is pushed down the order. Despite the well-known branding, this ice cream bar is a reformulated product built for cost efficiency, not quality. It contains some dairy, but the reliance on reconstituted proteins and vegetable-based stabilizers means the heritage name now signals little about what is actually inside. For shoppers expecting the rich taste of real Cadbury chocolate and creamy ice cream, the disappointment starts as soon as you flip the tub and read the label. Number 9. Carte d'Or Madagascan Vanilla presents itself as a taste of French luxury, but the reality inside the tub tells a different story. Despite the promise of Madagascan vanilla, the ingredient list reveals a formula built around reconstituted skimmed milk powder and glucose syrup, with cream listed much further down the ingredients. Mars UK, which owns the brand, leans heavily on premium branding, yet relies on stabilizers like guar gum, E412, and emulsifiers, E474, to mimic the texture of real dairy. Glucose and fructose syrups take the place of traditional cream, diluting both flavor and substance. The label sometimes reads frozen dessert rather than ice cream, a legal move that sidesteps even the modest standards that once defined the category. Carte d'Or's image of indulgence is undermined by a recipe that prioritizes cost savings over quality, leaving shoppers with little more than a sweet, aerated imitation of the real thing. Frederick's Luxury Vanilla claims to be the best quality luxury ice cream on the market, but the ingredient list tells a different story. Skimmed milk powder appears before cream, and the so-called luxury texture comes not from rich dairy, but from a cocktail of additives. 4 separate gums, guar, xanthan, locust bean, and carrageenan, are blended in to simulate creaminess and prolong shelf life. Hydrogenated vegetable oil is present, replacing the fresh milk fat that defines traditional ice cream. Despite the premium branding and higher price tag, this tub is produced under contract by Muller UK, a move that distances the product from any artisanal roots. Instead of simple, honest ingredients, shoppers find a formula engineered for cost savings and stability, not genuine indulgence. The reality is clear: luxury in name, but not in the tub. Number 7. Co-op vanilla flavor ice cream arrives in a large 900 milliliter value tub, but the savings come at a cost. Water tops the ingredient list, followed closely by vegetable oils, with cream pushed further down than most shoppers would expect for a product labeled as ice cream. The presence of emulsifier E471 signals the use of palm oil, a red flag for environmental groups such as the World Wildlife Fund, who continue to warn about deforestation linked to palm oil supply chains. Instead of real vanilla, the label lists vanilla flavor, a catch-all term that covers synthetic additives rather than natural extract. This is not just a question of taste or texture. When water and palm oil outpace dairy in a supermarket-owned label product, the result is a frozen dessert that falls far short of traditional expectations, both for quality and for sustainability. Number 6. Wall's Soft Scoop Vanilla lands in the crosshairs for a reason that is spelled out right on the packaging. The soft scoop promise signals a technical trick. This is ice cream engineered for maximum air, not maximum cream. The nutrition panel confirms it. Less than 3 grams of fat per 100 milliliters, a fraction of what traditional ice cream delivers. That low fat is not achieved with careful skimming or premium milk, but by swapping out cream for a blend of coconut and palm oils. Stabilizers like locust bean gum, guar gum, and carrageenan bind the airy emulsion, keeping it scoopable straight from the freezer. The result is a 1.8-liter family tub that feels light but is mostly frozen air, sweetener, and vegetable fat. Unilever's reformulation after the 2015 regulatory change lets Walls keep the familiar branding, while the actual product is a case study in overrun, where technical cost-cutting delivers a dessert that looks like ice cream but leaves real dairy behind. Number 5. Tesco Miss Molly's Soft Scoop Vanilla is packaged with bright colors and cartoon animals, aiming straight at families with young children. But behind the cheerful branding lies a formula built for cost, not quality. The first ingredients are water, sugar, and vegetable oils, specifically palm and rapeseed, not fresh milk or cream. Instead of real dairy, this tub relies on skimmed milk powder, a reconstituted ingredient that delivers only a fraction of the richness shoppers expect. The use of palm oil, flagged by environmental groups for its link to deforestation, is especially troubling in a product so clearly marketed to kids. Stabilizer E410 and emulsifier E471 are added to hold the airy, soft scoop texture, but they do not compensate for the absence of genuine cream. Production is handled by Muller UK, a major contract manufacturer, further distancing the product from any sense of traditional ice cream making. The result is a dessert that looks friendly and affordable, but under the lid delivers little more than sweetened, aerated vegetable fat. Number 4. Tesco Soft Scoop Vanilla. In the 2-liter tub stands as the most blatant example of how far ingredient standards have slipped. At first glance, the sheer size and low price suggest value, but the label tells a different story. Water is listed as the main ingredient, followed by sugar, palm oil, and canola oil. Dairy is reduced to a supporting role, appearing only as skimmed milk powder, further down the list. The soft scoop label signals a product engineered for maximum air, not maximum cream, with fat content hovering around 3 grams per 100 milliliters. This is ice cream in name only. The inclusion of palm oil, flagged by the World Wildlife Fund for its environmental impact, raises serious sustainability concerns. Tesco's own brand is flagged as a red light offender in the World Wildlife Fund palm oil tracker, yet the product remains a fixture in the freezer aisle. For shoppers expecting a classic scoop of real dairy ice cream, this tub delivers little more than frozen water, vegetable fat, and air. The only real value comes from reading the label before it reaches the checkout. Number 3. Tesco Finest Madagascan Vanilla stands apart from the crowd in the supermarket freezer. Instead of hiding behind soft scoop tricks or filler oils, this tub leads with whole milk and double cream as its first 2 ingredients. The ingredient list is short and direct. Real Madagascan vanilla beans are visible in every scoop, and natural vanilla extract is used for flavor, not synthetic substitutes. This is ice cream that delivers on the promise of its premium branding. In 2022, Which named it the best vanilla ice cream on the UK market, awarding a score of 2.9 out of 3 for authenticity and taste. At £4.79 per litre, it sits in the accessible premium range, offering genuine dairy richness without the inflated price tag of some rivals. For shoppers scanning the aisle for a product that still honours tradition, Tesco Finest Madagascan Vanilla proves that real ingredients and honest labelling can still be found on the same shelf. In second place, Sainsbury's Taste the Difference. Madagascan Vanilla stands as a rare example of supermarket ice cream that still honours traditional standards. The ingredient list leads with British whole milk and West Country double cream, followed by real vanilla beans and natural vanilla extract, ingredients that are increasingly absent from many rivals. This tub avoids the shortcuts of vegetable oils and artificial flavorings, delivering a full-bodied vanilla flavor and a buttery mouthfeel that comes directly from real dairy fat. In blind taste tests, including a 2022 Which panel, it scored 2.8 out of 3, placing just behind the top-rated option. Priced at £5.10 per litre, it sits in the premium bracket, but the quality is evident in every scoop. For shoppers who want a cross-retailer option and refuse to compromise on authentic ingredients, Sainsbury's Taste the Difference. Madagascan Vanilla proves that real ice cream is still possible in the British supermarket aisle. And finally, in first place, Aldi Specially Selected Madagascan Vanilla delivers what so many brands only promise: real ice cream made from cream, whole milk, and genuine vanilla, without the premium price tag. Cream appears second on the ingredient list, just after milk, with both vanilla extract and visible vanilla beans providing authentic flavor. This tub earned the grocer's 2023 Best Value Premium Vanilla Award, beating pricier rivals in blind taste tests for both taste and ingredient quality. At £3.45 per litre, Aldi's offering undercuts the rest of the premium field by a wide margin, making it the most cost-effective way to get traditional dairy ice cream at Tesco. For shoppers tired of paying more for less, this is the budget pick that doesn't compromise on what matters inside the tub. Across all 10 tubs, one truth emerges. The rules now let premium brands sell cheap, artificial mixtures as ice cream, banking on nostalgia and label tricks. The real standard is hidden in the fine print. Flip the tub, read the label, and demand better. Subscribe for more consumer investigations.